Hello everyone, it is me, Dr. Laserbeam, and this is League of Legends 101, where I go over certain parts of the game, League of Legends. Today we'll be going over how to play Nautilus, the Titan of the Depths, or as I like to call him, the walking toilet. Nautilus is a very tanky, crowd-controlling machine with amazing peel and utility, making him a rather flexible champion and perfect for many roles. Due to his flexible kit, he can go top, jungle, and support with little change in his playstyle. Pros to Nautilus are he's very tanky, he's versatile, consistent throughout the entire game, amazing crowd control, great engage, good disengage, good at farming, and an expert air swimmer. Cons to Nautilus are he's easy to poke, falls hard if behind, bad versus ranged champs, and is dependent on his team. Nautilus, if support, works well with ADCs that can make mad plays when Nautilus goes all in with his amazing CC. Such ADCs are Draven, Tristana, Graves, and Vayne. Nautilus, if top or jungle, works with just about any champion, but in particular works well with champions that can do lots of burst damage. Such champions are Yasuo, Jax, Tryndamere, and Irelia. Nautilus is strong against ADCs who have very little escape, such as Jinx, Ashe, Varus, and Misfortune. Nautilus is strong against top laners or junglers that have weak early games or lack much farm denial. Such champions are Tryndamere, Jax, Malphite, and Irelia. Nautilus is weak against ADCs who are slippery as hell. Such ADCs are Corki, Lucian, Graves, and Sivir. Nautilus is weak against supports who can counter Naught's all-ins or are defensive based. Such supports are Morgana, Braum, Taric, and Alistar. Nautilus is weak against top laners or junglers who have insane poke or are just hard to deal with. Such champions are Shyvana, Yorick, Trundle, and Kennen. For Nautilus's runes, I suggest getting tank runes such as magic resist, armor, or flat health, depending on the situation. Bring some AP runes if you feel like your team lacks it, unless you are support. For Nautilus's Masteries, put most of your points into defense and some into offense if top. If support or jungle, put most of your points into utility and some into defense. Make sure if you are jungle to get the necessary jungle masteries. The first thing you should get as Naut is a relic shield, health pots, and a warding totem. Start with a hunter's machete if jungle and a Doran's ring if top. Make sure to switch out these two items for the relic shield. The only must-have items for Nautilus would be the Sightstone, Righteous Glory, and Skirmisher's or Stalker's Blade with Cinderhulk if jungle. If you're going as support Nautilus, your build is the same if you go aggressive or defensive. Items to consider would be Randuin's Omen, Locket of the Iron Salami, Mercury's Treads, Thornmail, and Banshee's Veil. If you're going as jungle Nautilus, your build is the same as a support build minus the support item and plus the possibility of having Warmog's armor and of course a jungle item. This applies to both defensive and aggressive Nautilus jungle. If you're going top and plan to be defensive, follow the support/jungle item build. If however you plan to be aggressive, items to consider would be Rod of Ages, Abyssal Scepter, Frozen Heart, Sunfire Cape, and Boots of Mobility. Your build should be focused on utility, crowd control, and defense. Now onto Naughty Naught's abilities. First we have his passive, which is Staggering Blow. Nautilus's basic attacks root the target by alerting them that a white girl is coming out of the gym in yoga pants and also deals bonus physical magic damage. While this may seem pretty basic, this is actually a very powerful passive of Naught's. This helps you last hit during lane, helps you in peeling for your carries, and helps you set up ganks for your jungler or make it easier for your laner to kill your targeted champion if you are the jungler. This passive can be both used for aggressive and defensive reasons, but be aware, for the root only lasts 1.5 seconds at max and can only be applied once every few seconds. Next we have Naught's Q, which is Dredgeline. Nautilus throws his anchor forward, and if it hits a target, he pulls the target to him while also dashing to them. This can be used to hook on certain terrain, and if Nautilus does so, he will dash all the way to the targeted terrain and reduce his cooldown by half. Like his passive, Naught's Q is amazing for both defensive and aggressive reasons. For aggressive reasons, this can be used to pull an enemy ADC to your ADC in lane, catch people out, set up teamfights, set up for successful ganks, or be used when you gank if you're jungler. For defensive reasons, you can use this as an escape if you realize you done goofed in a teamfight, used to peel for your carries, and to distract the enemy team. Damn, that is a lot of crap you can do. Similar to how salt could be used on any food, Naught's Q is used for just about any situation. Just be aware that unlike Fresh's Q, this cannot pass over terrain. Now onto Naught's W, which is Titan's Wrath. Naught shields himself, which is increased off his max health. While Naught's shield is up, his basic attacks deal bonus magic damage. In addition to this, when your shield goes out, it explodes, doing magic damage to nearby enemies. This shield is of course used to protect yourself from enemy poke or in general in teamfights, but aggressively this can be used before you go all in for your own protection. The magic damage doesn't really matter since it has a pathetic scaling of 20%, and you really shouldn't be building much AP in the first place as not. If you're top, this allows for a bit safer farming since it not only protects you, but allows more damage, therefore makes it easier farming phase, and basically it's just like any other shield you'd find in League. Next we have Naught's E, which is Riptide. Naught creates 3 waves of explosions, which deals magic damage and slows any enemies hit by the waves. This ability is used to slow the enemy team in teamfights, slow down an enemy that you're chasing, or just slow down the enemy team in the pinch. This ability is great for defensive and aggressive reasons, but don't really rely on it for damage, for the scaling like a shield is pretty piss poor. Last we have Naught's ult, which is Death Charge. Naught sends out a massive wave of randomly exploding water towards a single enemy. In the way, it knocks out any enemy in the path of the charge out of the way, and when it reaches a target, it knocks them up, stuns them, and are dealt magic damage towards. This ability is fantastic in teamfights or for setting up for a hard engage. In lane, you can use this on the enemy carry and try to get the support in the path so your ADC and jungler can easily get to the ADC and screw them up. In teamfights, since the ADC or mid is in the back line, landing an ult on them will throw everybody on the entire enemy team out of the way, allowing your team to easily mess up just about everybody on the team. At worst, you can still manage to knock up an enemy champion out of a teamfight for a bit. When using your ult, you should line it up so it will hit as many enemies as possible by predicting the path your target will take. Your ult, in addition to all your other CC, makes you an insane CC machine. Now for the laning phases of Naught. First we shall go over his early game. As a support, you act as one of 2 roles, a bodyguard or an aggressor. A bodyguard uses Naught's CC to protect their carry from all ends and doesn't do anything but protect the carry till a jungler comes. If an aggressor, you act sorta like a Leona/Fresh by landing your hooks and getting good trades due to your amazing CC and awesome shield. To determine which you should do, consider who's your ADC and what your playstyle is, and also if you're countered by the enemy bot lane. If you are in jungle, start off by getting your red and blue buff. Try to go for an early gank if any opening arises, but if not, just farm. Make sure while farming that you use your shield to allow you to stay in the jungler for longer. If top, you should try to stay passive and farm as much as possible till you get your first item. Naught has a rather weak dueling and therefore will lose in most 1v1s in top. However, if you find that you must fight, make sure to use your CC and shield to get better trades during the early game. As a support in the mid game, your role is fairly similar to your early. It is advised, however, that you go more aggressive as Naught and look for picks. Make sure to ward key areas like any other support, and unless you are very behind, try to start teamfights by using your ult on the backline or by hooking somebody. In the mid game as jungle, you should be trying to maintain ward control and focus on ganking for your teammates. If no opportunity arises for you to gank, just farm and watch out for the counter jungle. As a top knot in the mid game, you should be trying to roam, assuming you're not under pressure by a split pusher such as Jax or Trundle. If you cannot roam, hold top till you find a decent opening for you to use your teleport. If you didn't bring teleport like I said, then GG and get farming. In the late game as a support, you should be looking to try and make them mad plays with them hooks unless you're up against a super tanky team. If that is the case, try to be protective of your carries and focus on peeling. Make sure to keep some wards around Baron and also clear wards near objectives as well. Late game in jungle, you should be focused on making those plays and allowing your support to do the peeling unless you feel the carries need additional protection. Also, make sure to keep an eye on Baron and Dragon. As top knot in the late game, you're pretty much support number 2. Therefore, refer to acting as support in late game. For spells, I suggest Flash plus Exhaust, Flash plus Smite, or Flash plus Teleport. This has been League of Legends 101. Let me know if you found this video to be helpful, and for all you Nautilus players out there, let's make sure we be some naughty knots.